Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch This, Then That. I'm your host, Jay, and today we're diving into Netflix gripping new limited series, Death by Lightning. If you're like me, you've binged this 4-episode drama and come away stunned by the drama. Starring Michael Shannon as the reluctant hero, James Garfield, and Matthew Macfadyen as the unhinged Charles Guiteau, it's a tale of ambition, madness, and medical mayhem that's based on the real-life events from Candace Millard's book, Destiny of the Republic. But before you hit play or run the entire show back, I'll give you the straight historical rundown so you can appreciate every scene with eyes wide open. I'll tell you the who, what, when, and where, and let you tell me why this show was a bomb or a bust down in the comments section. No spoilers on the show's plot here, just the facts to ground you in the Gilded Age chaos. Let's get into it. First up, the when and where. This story unfolds in the early 1800s, smack in the heart of post-Civil War America. The Gilded Age is in full swing. Think booming railroads, corrupt political machines, and a nation still healing from the scars of slavery and war. The Civil War ended just 16 years earlier. Lincoln was murdered in 1865. Andrew Johnson, Lincoln's VP, botched Reconstruction. Then Ulysses S. Grant, war hero turned two-term president, left office in 1877 amid massive corruption scandals. Rutherford B. Hayes followed, promising to clean house, but the spoils system only got worse. Then June 1880 hits, Chicago, the Republican National Convention. The U.S. is picking its next leader after President Rutherford B. Hayes steps down and the party's in a deadlock. It's the longest, hottest, most insane convention ever, inside a packed glass building nicknamed the Glass Palace on Lake Michigan. No AC. 14,000 people, tobacco spit everywhere. 3 warring factions locked in a death match. The Stalwarts, Roscoe Conkling's machine crew, screaming for a third term for Ulysses S. Grant. Remember, we're a long way away from any business about the 22nd Amendment and 2-term presidents. The Half-Breeds, James G. Blaine's reform-ish squad, dead set against Grant. A smaller Sherman block that was never going to win. And all of this nicely leads us into the who. Of course, at the center is James A. Garfield, our 20th president, a self-made man who embodied the American dream before it turned nightmarish. Born in a log cabin in Ohio on November 19, 1831, Garfield was the last president to come from such humble roots. Orphaned young, he chopped wood, hauled canal boats, and taught himself classics by moonlight. A Civil War hero who rose to Major General, he entered Congress in 1863, fighting for Reconstruction and civil rights for freed Black Americans. His wife, Lucretia Crete Garfield, was his rock, a quiet educator from Ohio who bore 7 kids and stood by him through scandals. And as for the rest of the rowdy bunch, we have Senator Roscoe Conkling, the swaggering bodybuilding boss of New York, famous for his peacock outfits, curled mustache, and iron control of the spoils system. He basically owned the New York Custom House and treated President Grant like his personal puppet. Next, we have James G. Blaine, the charming, magnetic, plumed knight from Maine. Charismatic Speaker of the House turned senator, twice almost president himself. He hated Conkling with a passion, pushed for milder civil service reform, and carried the dreams of the anti-Grant wing. Chester A. Arthur, Conkling's loyal wingman and New York dandy. Perfect suits, perfect sideburns, 0 qualifications except loyalty. He got rich running the very custom house Conkling controlled, collecting a fat salary while rarely showing up. As an aside, let's nail down an essential detail: the spoils system. The spoil system or patronage was straight up legalized corruption. To the victor belonged the spoils. Win an election, you get to fire tens of thousands of government workers, postmasters, customs officials, clerks, and hand those jobs to your buddies, donors, and campaign hacks. No qualifications needed, just loyalty. By 1880, it had ballooned into a monster. The New York Custom House alone employed 1,300 people and generated more cash than the entire Treasury some years. How, you might ask? Tariffs. Before income tax existed, the federal government ran almost entirely on duties slapped on imported goods, pouring into the busiest port in America. New York handled over 2/3 of all U.S. imports, so the Custom House was collecting tens of millions a year. That's billions today. The collector, like Chester Arthur, got a fat salary, plus fees, plus all the kickbacks, inflated warehouse rents, and moieties, reward shares of fines on smugglers. It wasn't just a job, it was a license to print money for you and every party loyalist on the payroll. And finally, the quiet John Sherman, William Tecumseh Sherman's quieter, brainier little brother, Secretary of the Treasury under Hayes, champion of hard money and civil service reform. The Ohio delegation came to Chicago to nominate him and accidentally left with Garfield instead. And finally, the wild card, Charles Julius Guiteau. Born in 1841 in Illinois to strict religious parents, Guiteau's life was a mess of failures. He flunked law school, dabbled in a shady religious commune called the Oneida Community, where they practiced complex marriage, then bounced through dead-end jobs as a debt collector and con artist. Guiteau is a classic stalwart Republican, loyal to the old guard like Grant and Conkling, obsessed with the spoil system where jobs go to party hacks, not the qualified. And finally, the what? Here's the exact moment in history the show drops you into. March 4th, 1881, James Garfield has just been sworn in as the 20th president. He's the first and only sitting member of the House ever elected to the White House. He's the last log cabin-born president, and he's openly at war with the most powerful political machine in America over the spoil system. For the past 50 years, every new president has handed out roughly 100,000 federal jobs like party favors. Garfield says no more. He's trying to change the system. He's taking on Roscoe Conkling, the Stalwarts, in the entire New York Custom House cash cow. And that's what I've got for you, folks. The who, what, when, and where behind death by lightning. From Garfield's humble grit to Guiteau's fevered delusions, this slice of 1881 America shows a nation teetering between corruption and progress, where one bullet rewrote history. Now, armed with the context, fire up Netflix and let the drama unfold. Drop in the comments, was this a binge-worthy triumph or a historical swing and miss? Hit like if you're Team Garfield. Subscribe for more breakdowns, like our deep dives on Lincoln, Oppenheimer, The Boys in the Boat, and I'll catch you next time. Remember, watch this, then that. Peace out.